size of the mat. It's also a very important feature and information when it comes to deciding on the care plan. So let's take a look at a few possibilities. On the first drawing there, you see that the mat is further away from the skin and it's fairly tiny. On the second drawing, you see that the mat is pretty much like triple the size like the first one. So it's bigger, it involves more hair. On the third drawing there, you see that the mat is significantly bigger and it's more like a surface mat by that point, not just a smaller bunch. And on the fourth drawing there, that you see pretty much a matted hair hurricane, because it's such a large surface that it involves quite a lot of skin there. So what can we do in those situations? In the first situation, you can brush it out in case it's light mat, not a tight one. In case it's a tight one, I snip it off with a pre-haircut shear, because that's gonna save the most hair there and bring the most comfort for the doggy. On the second drawing situation, depending on whether it's a light mat, in case it's lightly matted, I just brush it out. In case it's a tight one, I snip it off. It's gonna probably show already on the haircut because it's a bigger surface. A bigger bunch of hair. So there's gonna be holes in those situations in the haircut, unless the parents agree to go with the length between what is shown between the skin and the base of the mat there. And in case, by the way, in that situation, in case the parent is super dedicated to save the coat, since we have safety or comfort grip between the skin and the mat, we can go also the way that, and even if the mat is tight, we can save quite some hair by getting a good comfort grip between the skin and the base of the mat, and using dematting tools like the shear or a brush for a longer period of time without the doggy experiencing any kind of sensation on the skin, for example, like pulling because of the brush, or the dematting rake or shears, whatever we are using. So we can save quite some hair there because we have a safety grip. The third image solution for the third image, in that situation, since it's very close to the skin, and let's say it's a slightly matted, slightly tight mat, I would probably try to brush it out in case the dog is cooperative. In case it's a tighter mat, then I would definitely just do a short shave because it's too close to the skin. I can get a good comfort grip and the dog will go wild and will hate me, along with the whole grooming idea, for the rest of his life. Or it's going to be crazy amount of work for you at home to desensitize the doggy. So since we are not here to torture doggies, we're going to go with the gentle way with a short shave in case the mat is tight. On the last image or drawing, you can see that it's a ginormous, humongous matted hair hurricane there. In case it's lightly matted, then I would still give it a go for a brush out. In case the doggy can handle that, of course. In case they're showing sensitivity signs and losing patience, then we need to revise our possibilities. In case it's a tight mat, then only a short shave will bring comfort to the doggy. I definitely would not recommend to use dematting rakes on this situation, because it's just gonna cause a crazy amount of pain for the doggy and crazy amount of time and money for you to desensitize the doggy to grooming. Taking a look at the size of a mat here on these few images, on the top left you see a very similar image to the previous one when we were talking about the length, the location of the mat on the hair length. Here you see a doggy's muzzle with smaller bunches of hair. Now they are fairly close to the skin, and since that's a really sensitive location, I'm just gonna snip off those tight mats. I wouldn't even dare to consider dematting them. On the image below that, you can see a pretty big mat. I would say it's already a matted hair hurricane there, and I would definitely trim that off because by taking a look, I can see it's tight. There's no way we could open that up. This is the inner side of the mat, by the way, which goes on the doggy's side or skin. Bigger surface mats like this look like a good looking placenta. They have the side of the doggy and they have the side of the outer side away from the doggy. So just by taking a look, you're going to be able to see which one is which side you are looking at, the doggy side or the outer side. On the top right image, you can see a puppy's coat, which was pretty sad because the moms totally thought that she was doing an excellent job with the brushing, but there was a crazy layer super close to the skin, which resulted in this serious short shave there. You can see the shape where the doggy's tail was and leg and sides. It's so sad. Poor thing. I wish the parent knew how to take care of the doggy, so she could have gone closer to the skin to prevent this from happening. And one of the saddest cases on the bottom left I met with, I mean sad because poor doggy was in pain up until she met with me. However, super joyful because she enjoyed getting rid of all that tight surface mat. It was all over her body. She was absolutely bald from the tip of the nose to the tip of the tail by the time we were done, and she was extremely happy about that. And in those situations, there is no other way than a short shave. She gets access to a pool constantly, and the parents do not really groom her at all, or I don't know what kind of methods they are using, but it was heartbreaking. And we were talking about what to do, so she knows by now what she could do to keep her doggy comfortable between haircuts. And you can take a look at that image, which is a video, so you can see that it's a piece of mat from the doggy's ear, and those are the rest of the mats I removed from the dog. You can see the shape of the ear right there, that it was coming off of the tip of the ear. It's easier to see from the outer side from here. And it was just one thick surface mat there, which is very sad, but what can we do beyond learning from it? That's the inner side. That's why I said it's a good looking placenta. And you can prevent that by brushing the tip of the ears. Oh, look at that puppy.